Yeah. Hi, kids. Nick to Paolo. The Nick to Paolo radio show. Day number 2. I woke up this morning, I'm like, I can cross that off my list. I did that, and then I'm like, oh, this is a real fucking job. I gotta go back. I really had this feeling of accomplishment when I woke up this morning. And, my wife goes to sleep with our dog. We have a little faggy Yorkie, and, I go up and, cause she's out like a light. She takes drugs and stuff. She's like Janis Joplin, about 1966. No, so she's asleep and she tells me to go get the dog out of the bed because the dog has a tendency at 6 a.m. to poke her in the face and stuff. So I go up there like 1 o'clock. So, bring the dog down and, I'll put the dog in my bed. See what that's like. And cut to 4 a.m. I have a dog's a little faggy paw on my face, pawing at me like it wants to go out. And so now I can't sleep. It's like 4 o'clock. And I go out and I take a Advil PM. You guys who listen to my podcast, I've chronicled my sleep problems on and on. And I don't need suggestions, folks. I've tried everything. I've shot heroin into my neck during Jeopardy, and I've snorted Valium. I've done everything. Yeah, melatonin. That's what. Have you tried melatonin? Yeah, it made me feel like I had shit brains for the next 2 days. I don't like all that stuff. Messes me up. The only thing that really works is the Advil PM, and I found out that's eating my stomach away. So explains the blood in my stool. So I get the Advil PM. I find a half of one because one's too much, and I take the half of Advil PM, and I see that bottle of scotch. I Googled it, by the way, that my agent sent. $140. Nice effort there by super agent Tony Burton. Some type of Glen Morangi. Yeah, Glen Morangi.
Whatever the hell you say it.
Yeah, single malt. I wouldn't know that from 3 malts. Chocolate malt, I wouldn't. So I have the Advil PM and a nice little glass of scotch. To knock me out. And I wake up and the dog's sitting on my face. And,
Cosette?
Cosette. Oh, I could have pulled a Cosette. That's a good point. What if I rolled over and suffocated that dog? Hey, the number's 866-969-1969. 866-969-1969. And, I can't, I have no ability to sleep. I fall asleep, but again, I wake up, I'd say 3.5, 4 hours later every goddamn day. And, it's wearing on me. I don't get the looks from the 40-year-old women anymore, and, it's really starting to bug me. And, there's surgery for that. But, so, had my 3 cups of coffee, got up, sat on the computer, and said, what are they blaming Trump on today? Oh, it's so fucking tiring. Hey, you want an independent prosecutor? I'm trying to figure out what he did, before. And all this. We were doing the show yesterday, and we're looking around at the screens going, he gave out classified information and all that shit.
Right.
And, is that Adam Schiff on TV? I'm looking at that little weasel right now.
Yeah.
He's got the face of Charles Grodin when he was like 12. I'd like to stomp it.
For a loyalty test to the president, and now with allegations that the president urged him to essentially drop the investigation of Michael Flynn.
All right, enough. We can't even stay up with the Washington Post and the New York Times, and you fucking come up with something, will you? Fucking evidence. We've been hearing about this for how long now? Enough already. Let the guy fail on his own. The hell was that? We stepping on each other with clips?
That's all you.
Huh?
That's all you.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus H. Anyhow, we'll get to that in a few minutes because, people get upset. They'd rather have 8 guys telling dick jokes in here. We can do that, too.
We'll get around to that.
We'll get around to all that horse shit. But, remember yesterday I was talking about that show in Windsor Locks, Connecticut, and there's a kid who always comes to see me. His name's Joe. He's got cerebral palsy. I said MS yesterday.
I was going to say he's got a new thing every day.
Well, let's be honest.
He's going to have tomorrow.
Ebola. But the point being is Joe shows up to my shows when I'm ever in Connecticut. I love this kid. He's got a distinct laugh. And he always laughs at like the meanest, darkest shit that comics would laugh at. He's got a great time. Anyways, I take a picture with him, which I do most of the time. And Saturday night, I take the picture with him, and the guy pushing the chair. After we take the picture, Joe thanks me, and I hear the guy pushing his chair go, "Oh, good, can I burn it now?" And of course, me being the paranoid guy that I am, I'm like, "Oh, this guy didn't fucking like me."
I love that guy.
Yeah. Who asked you? I'll give you the look when I ready to tune in. So anyways, I wake up today, I get an email from this kid. And, he says, first of all, I don't know how he got my email. It's tremendous. This kid's got double A. I bet you Trump gave it to him. Big fucking mouth. He says, my name is Joe. You know, I've met the kid 18 times, and I, never asked him his name. Because as I'm taking a picture with him, I'm looking at, a 24-year-old girl.
Sure.
Or, let's be honest, 64 at this point. But he says, my name's Joe. He says, I'm the wheelchair person at Bobby V's. First of all, I like that phrase right there. Like he's working at the airport. We need a wheelchair, Joe. I heard your new radio show. He says, I heard the bit where you were talking about me. That was my uncle. We totally love your show. We were laughing our asses off. Me and my uncle leaned to your politics. When we took the picture, my uncle was busting my balls. It had nothing to do with you or your set, you paranoid greasy guinea mother. No. And,
he still got it.
He says, that is my family. We bust each other's balls. Apparently. So much so he's in a wheelchair, the poor kid. That's really loud in my headset. You going to tell me that
it's good?
It's all right for the people? Because that's, I'm bleeding from my ass and ears.
You can turn your headphones down in front of you.
I always forget. There's 9 buttons. I'm still new at this. You know what I mean? Anyways, he says, then he says, I don't have MS. I have cerebral palsy. And I'm going to have to Google the difference. I'm pretty sure. Then he says this. He says, I'm pretty sure a deer tick didn't bite me in the ass. Does a deer tick bite cause MS? That's Lyme disease, Joe. This kid's fucking funny. I'm pretty sure a deer tick didn't bite me. Like, that's the cause of, he says, it was great to see you again. You get better every time I see you. I consider you the best comic ever. That's how we know he's a little distorted. But I take the compliment beautifully. And the fact that he makes it out to the show. No ramps. We had to bring a helicopter and drop him into his seat. It was fucking really awkward. He says, I'm in my mid-20s. I know how much you hate young people. It says,
he's right.
What do you mean he's right? All they do is fucking play to young people. I'm in a business that's surrounded by young people. I hit on 12-year-old girls. I mean, what are you talking about? Did I say girl? I mean, boys. Listen.
I didn't hear anything.
He says, I know how much you hate young people, and I hate my generation, too.
I love this kid.
I don't hate. I've been defending the millennials lately. Yes, I hate your entitled fucking run to your safe spaces and all that other faggy horse shit you bought into, but that's not your fault. You're being taught by fucking left-wing douchebags who believe in that. And every generation, I'm the people that preceded me. That generation hated my generation because we were the little spoiled assholes. So I don't. He says, I know how much you hate young people. Like I dumped him out of his chair. For Christ's sakes, Joe. He says, I hope to see you soon. I'll be trying to make it to your Ridgefield show, but he says, I don't have snow tires on my chair. It could be dangerous. I just threw that in, folks. I can joke with this kid. I feel like it's his uncle. So anyways, but, P.S. he says, wait a minute, I didn't even read the P.S. I look like the postage. Oh, I took a picture with him and he sent me the picture. And he says, P.S. I look like the poster child for cerebral palsy. Once a retard, always a retard.
He's definitely one of your fans.
Oh, my God. He's an insensitive guy, huh? Holy Christ. I'm almost offended by that. But that is typical of me, though, to think that that guy was talking to me. Maybe it's because he looked over at me when he said it, and then he pushed Joe away in anger. But I'm going to get you tickets to Ridgefield in the fall, and they told me I have to build a ramp for you, just like Beansy in The Sopranos. Got to build that ramp. You got to build a ramp for Beansy, Richie Aprile. I'll build a ramp because I'll build a ramp up your ass, drive a Lionel up in there. That was an exact line from The Sopranos.
I know.
I'll build a ramp to your ass and drive a Lionel up in there, and that's why I call it Shakespeare. Hey, it's getting a little cold in here. Good thing I brought my Red Sox sweatshirt hoodie. $100. I bought this when they beat the Cardinals at Fenway.
I don't remember.
Game 6. Tony Burton, the guy that gave me the scotch, my super agent, actually got me the tickets. The guy's terrific.
Super agent.
I bring him radio deals. He gets me scotch, and but you know what? Because he got me those tickets to that Red Sox clinching game against the Cardinals at Fenway.
Yeah.
I had taken them off my website for a while, but I put them back on. I owe my loyalty. Because of those tickets, I have to stay with him. Between him and Barry Katz. Let's go to Joe in Brooklyn on line 2. Look, I'm out of fucking breath and putting my coat on. Wow. Hey, Joey boy, how are you?
Listen, this is where we differ. Unfortunately, I'm a Yankee fan, but other than that, I love everything else about you.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
We can still like each other.
Politics, the fact that, they're 26-year-old kids that still have insurance and live with their mom. I remember being a kid, and I'm an old motherfucker.
Ooh.
That the whole idea after high school was I needed to get insurance because my parents were going to, car insurance was ridiculous. It's just such a different world where these guys just want to suck nipples their whole life. It's crazy.
Well, I like to suck nipples at 55.
As do I. I'm 48, and I still like young girls.
That's never going to go away. I was told that by my dad as he was chasing a girl in a bathing suit across the street. My dad's 81. So, yes. You know what? What's your name again? Joe. Joe from Brooklyn. The Yankees-Red Sox, I think the rivalry is going to be renewed because loads of talent.
Yeah, you guys, those guys have come up. Even the Italian kid in the outfield, Begini or whatever his last name is.
Benintendi.
I fucking love him. I thought he was African when I first heard his name, but then I realized he was one of us.
What do you do? You sound like a guy. You sound like those guys in Ancestry.com commercials. Everyone that uses a fucking moron. I thought I was Swedish. Turns out I'm black and Latino.
Yeah. I thought I was born in Italy, but all of a sudden my mother said she banged an African.
Thank you, Joe from Brooklyn. Appreciate it, buddy.
I'll be listening.
All right. Thanks, Joey. Boy, those Yankees fans have a little bit of racism in them.
We're good people.
Huh?
We're good people.
Who's we? Yankees, you mean?
I told you this morning. I was balling watching the Jeter night from the other night. I taped it.
Yeah, you guys got to get over that, okay?
You can't let us have a night to celebrate the captain?
Have a night. You've been sucking his ass since he retired, for Christ's sake. This guy used to do Ford Focus commercials. No, Ford Edge. This is when I lost a little. I love him. First of all, I know he's a Hall. No doubt. I mean, clutch guy, all that. But you guys, I'm telling you, spend too much time worshiping the core four. But here's where I lost a little respect with Jeter. I see those commercials. Jeter used to drive a Ford Focus. This guy he built a house in Tampa Bay, 68,000 square feet, made $22 million a year, but the car he chooses to drive is the Ford Edge. Is that how you get Hannah Davis pussy? Pulling up in a fucking economy car in front of a nightclub in Miami on a Saturday night? Beep, beep. I'm doing a bit. Don't talk. I see him trying to jump in. I'll give you the scary eye. Yeah, that's what he drives a Ford Edge. I'm sure he buys his stuff at Radio Shack, but you got to do what you got to do. Kevin in Houston. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, boys, how you doing?
Good.
Congratulations on the show, Nick.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, and the Astros had your Derek Jeter night on Sunday night.
Not my Derek Jeter night. I'm from Boston.
They whooped him.
Yeah. It's a good series, though. Hey, what is it with you comics and not being able to sleep? I mean, is it like a ongoing thing?
Well, I'll explain.
Or is it just because you're on the road?
No, that's actually a good question, Kevin, and here it is. A lot of cocaine in Nebraska, and that's what we play around No, what happens is you perform, right? You perform at nighttime, okay? When you perform live, whether you're a ukulele, a homeless guy, for a whore, whatever, you come home, you're all wound up. Your adrenaline, when you perform in front of people, especially comedy, and you kill, it's an adrenaline rush. And then you go back to the hotel if you're on the road, and you're wide awake. You're going to watch TV till 3 or 4, or you go to a titty bar, and make it rain if you're a headliner. So your adrenaline gets all fucked up. And then with me, I don't do the road that much. I come home after a road trip. And I'm on that schedule now. I can't sleep, right? So I stay up, I watch TV or do whatever till 2 in the morning. But look, I'm in my 50s. It's a known fact as you get older, that's what happens. You only, you don't sleep as much.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a combination, and it's really, and I like I said, I don't want anybody to suggest I've tried all the shit, you know. So, that's the problem. We can't sleep.
Yeah. Well, you're a hell of a comic, man, and like I said, congratulations on the new show.
Hey, Kevin, thank you for the call, buddy.
All right, buddy. Later.
Go Astros. You find that, Andy, you don't do that much, or do you much road work? Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I agree with the adrenaline. Yeah,
now as an opening act, do you still have that?
I should have learned. Should learn my lesson.
No, I'm just saying. But true, right?
Yeah, you're all wound up.
I don't fucking, I don't smoke weed, but that really seems like it. And the booze, I do the booze thing. I'll go back and, but I can't find the minibar at the La Quinta Inn or the Motel 6 or the, so I'm all wound up. And again, but this has been going on for a few years. It's not all comedy related, but I will come home and not go on the road for 2.5, 3 weeks. And I get into this, I'm in bed by 1 is good for me. That's early. Yeah. I'm in bed by 1 a.m. and I go, I'm proud of myself. But as soon as I go on the road, even if it's 2 nights up in Albany or whatever, I come back and then I'm screwed up, So maybe I'll try the weed. I'm going to talk about weed later on in the show.
Okay.
Because I read an article about LSD. They're using that for depressed people and ecstasy and stuff. And I want to talk about that because I can't even handle weed.
No.
I've told a couple of those stories on my podcast where I bit on an edible. I'm eating it like as a Snickers. Like, hey, you're supposed to take 1/8 of the corner. I'm shoving it down like it's fucking Three Musketeers on Halloween. Oh, God. Let's go to Nick in Nebraska. He's got sleep advice.
Hey, Nick, I just heard what Kevin had, Kevin's question, and you're absolutely right with, you're on the road and late nights and all that. So you're spot on there. One thing though, with the Advil PM and the booze,
yeah,
you got to choose one, buddy, man. That's a bad combo.
Yeah, I heard.
And honestly, you're probably better off choosing the booze.
I heard that, but you don't know how unhappy I am. No, you know what? You make a good point, dude. People have pointed out a few times to me, so maybe I am trying to get myself. I don't know.
But the reason I called is I'm a chiropractor, and
oh, Jesus. Okay, now I'm taking you serious.
My patients, I have a lot of people that come to me for this, and they report that after getting adjusted and kind of keeping things where they're supposed to be, they sleep like a baby. They sleep so much. I don't sleep good when I'm out of whack. All right. And I know when I'm out of whack, and I know that's what's causing my poor sleep. But being on the road, you got to figure out how to make that part of your life, I guess.
I like that you're a chiropractor, a doctor in quotes, but you sound like a trucker. Well, I'm out of whack. Yeah, but in layman's terms, but in layman's terms, can you?
I'm in small town Nebraska. I gotta be able to talk to the people where they can understand it.
I'm out of whack. Yeah, but doctor, can you use? That's a medical term. I'm out of whack.
Okay, subluxated. There you go.
So you guys, but this is why I love about chiropractors. No matter, you could come to them with Ebola, and they go, "That's because you're a little crooked. Your spine." Everything.
Why not, right?
Everything.
Why not, right?
Here's what scares me about chiropractors. I went to school with a kid. He got steady D's from 4th grade to high school. He's like a successful chiropractor.
Hey, you didn't care about the early stuff, I guess, huh?
That's exactly right. Hey, thanks for the call, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, real quick.
Yep.
I basically listen to nothing but comedy and watch nothing but comedy, and I don't laugh out loud very often, but your bit about your wife bleaching her asshole and you talking about running 50 pots of coffee through the same filter, I was dying.
I wrote that on Easter morning. I was with my family. I'll never forget it.
God bless you.
Thanks, Nick.
Best thing I've ever heard, man. Take care.
Appreciate it. See, there's where you go with comedy. I have all these, I have some very smart, socially relevant bits, but the asshole comparing it to a coffee filter after 50 pots, that's what takes it to the top.
That's what they remember.
Huh? Yeah. That Colin Quinn had the funniest line. We were roasting Artie Lang and Bob Levy, who I absolutely love. Colin, you know how you roast everybody at
Sure.
thing? He goes, Bob, Quinn is so funny. He goes, Bob, you close your act by eating, and it's true, blue cheese salad dressing out of a girl's asshole, and people still don't know who you are.
Excuse me.
Oh, that'll make me cry. I swear to God, I got stories to get to, folks, but I don't give a shit. It's my show. It's not like, we're not doing Charlie Rose here. We'll get to the stuff in a few minutes. I think we're going to go to Eileen in New York. She's going to give me sleeping advice, even though I told her not to. Hi, Eileen. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm exhausted. How you doing? What do you weigh? How tall are you?
I hear you have sleeping problems.
Yeah, I do.
Anyhow, in Ireland, where I grew up, the perfect cure for sleeping problems is a good bottle of moonshine, which is brewed out in the mountains.
Ooh.
You can't get it too much in the U.S., but if you have a good contact in Ireland, they'll bring you a bottle.
Oh, we can get it in the U.S. All the states that Trump won, we can get moonshine. By the way, I voted for him.
In the mountains. You can't get it in the one you get in the duty free is not the same because it's 170 proof. This one.
Oh my goodness! Only an 170 proof.
And if you really want to party, you should mix it up with some crushed Viagra, and there you go.
The Viagra, I think the 180 proof will kill that Viagra. That's gonna. I used to snub Viagra.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Well, Eileen, you're a funny lady, and like a lot of Irish broads, I know.
Show.
Thank you so much, honey. Thank you for calling. See that? That was 180 proof.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's possible.
I don't know. I like a good Bud Light. I'm kidding. Anyhow. Well, let's go to the phone one more time. I know we're coming up close to the first break already. Boy, I'll tell you, when you don't do stories, it's a lot more fun doing radio. This is what the people want. Let's go to Bill in New Jersey on line 7. Bill, welcome to the Paolo show.
The Paolo, what's up, man?
How you doing, Billy?
No, I'm a big fan of your podcast, too. I'm glad you're on Sirius now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Tell the people how funny it is.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. But no, I'm 32, and I already had I was a carpenter in the morning, and now I'm delivering pizzas. So when I hear about this white privilege bullshit, it makes me crazy. But
yeah,
it's turning around. All guys my age are so anti-liberal. It's turning. It's coming. So nothing to worry about.
I guess, I'd like to say that, but Jesus Christ, as long as the mainstream media is as left as it is, they always have a chance. If they didn't have that, I don't think they'd ever win a fucking election. I really believe that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's crazy now with it's all nonsense. It's just transgender this and that. Like, I don't know. What happened to just being normal?
Brendan, the younger kid on the show, is shaking his head in there because who are you to say what's normal? Well, I don't know.
Oh my! We all know what's normal. It's playing sports when you're a kid, it's banging girls, and it's going to work.
There you go.
It's not getting wrapped up in your feelings.
Okay. Well, the feelings part I agree with, but all right, Billy. Thank you.
Well, all right, love you, Nick.
All right, same here. Well, he said he loves me though. See that? So he's a little faggy. He just want to get. Brendan was shaking his head. I thought it was going to come off his shoulders. What's normal? That's right. The thing. Well, I guess so. I guess I've been living in New York too long. I'm like, who's to say what's normal? The shit I did in college that I tried to do with girls in bed and stuff was not normal.
All right.
It involved chewing tobacco, silly string, a blowtorch. I mean, that is hardly normal, but people would say I'm a normal guy. We'll get into that later. We're going to get into that later because Caitlyn Jenner ran into some hassles over in England. We'll get into that. Apparently, she got some award, or she got.
Who the fuck knows?
She got some award. Well, he does. She does. And somebody yelled something out, and then, which is fine. But then somebody threw something. And that's where I draw the line, even on stage. I get hit with a piece of ice once, and I bailed. I did. I got right the fuck off stage. I will not put up with that. We got a lot of show ahead of us. I want to talk about T. Martin's kid, 13 years old, getting a scholarship. UC Berkeley has an obscene podcast where people just fuck, and we listen in. I mean, they listen in. And And Bill Cosby, he's blaming it on Whitey again. It's the Nick Paolo Show, 866-969-1969. Back after this, kids.
The Nick Paolo Show returns now.
Alrighty. We got to get that guy's voices.
I got a girl.
It's like Judy Gold. Yeah, I want sexy, girly.
Yeah.
Voiceover. That way I can say I employ women too. I'm not the same way the NFL puts a chick on the sideline. Look, we use women. That's all that's about, by the way. I hope you guys realize that. If you don't, you're really fucking retarded. But I'll get to that in a few minutes too. Andy Roney, remember Andy Roney, 60 Minutes? I hate buttons.
Yeah, I have.
And he has the best take. He's dead now, but he had the best take on female sportscasters ever. The number is 866-969-1969. And UC Berkeley in the news, and not for the usual thuggery, not for trying to crush the spirits of some conservatives on campus, or threatening to kill a conservative speaker, or busting store windows and shit with their faggy masks on. They can't show their face. This is still trying to be edgy, though. UC Berkeley newspaper releases obscene podcast. First of all, how does a newspaper release a podcast? That fucking makes no sense. That records students having sex. I tried that on my second podcast in my basement. And, I was going solo, so nobody was impressed. But, it says, entitled Surprise Porn. That's what it's called. In the latest installment of College Kids' sad attempts to be provocative, the Daily Californian's Hard and Soft podcast has released an episode solely featuring the noises of students at the University of California at Berkeley having sex and masturbating. I don't want to hear guys cornhole each other. It is Berkeley. That is what we're hearing, isn't it?
True.
Yeah, so when they're not breaking windows and shit and threatening people's lives, white, heterosexual, entitled males like myself. It's entitled Surprise Porn. The episode begins with a woman, I'll say chick, Ashley, speaking softly. By the way, I like her voice. This is a girl I might want to do the voiceover for the show. Introducing the little treat put together. For the next 5 minutes, listeners are given a show featuring various moans, vibrator hums, and other sounds that someone not exposed to Berkeley's sexual enlightenment might have problems identifying with. And I think we have a little bit of the Surprise Porn podcast. Let's listen in, shall we?
Hey, it's Ashley from Hard and Soft, and we put together a little treat for you. Maybe you're looking around right now with your earbuds and making sure no one's listening. Making sure no one sees the title of what you're listening on your phone right on the banner. Because you know what you're about to be listening to. You read the description. You know what you came here for. But don't worry, we won't tell anyone. It'll be a dirty little secret between you and me. Enjoy.
All right, that's enough. How is that sexy? That's enough. And why is the pace way too fast from the normal clip? Like, she talked way slower on the. Is that?
No, that's the same one.
No, it ain't, man. Listen to it all day. I listened to it for 2 hours. And that was, I don't know why the clip sounds shitty. If it's my headphones, I hope the audience is hearing it better than me. It was a lot more subtle and sexy when I listened to it. But that first of all, some guys jerking off to that could be her sitting on the toilet while her husband is using a electric razor behind her, or that's a guy weed whacking outside her bedroom window. But is that it? That's a podcast. That's considered a podcast.
Yes, it's a 5-minute podcast.
Oh, just 5 minutes?
That's it.
Got to get a black guy involved. It'll be a 65-minute show. So I've been told by Brendan. What? The hell does that mean? But they're just trying to be edgy at Berkeley, and what is this? The Daily Cal is known for its provocative coverage of campus sex life. In October of last year, paper columnist Chris Cox derided the gay hookup app Grindr as a perpetuator of bedside racism. Oh, God, fucking help us. This is what I'm talking about, Brendan. This is why your generation is fucking hated. Bedside racism. Other columns currently featured on the Daily Cal site include Big Pussy by Kyle Salmons. White supremacy produces disproportionate environmental pollution. Yeah, really? Have you checked out China? You fucking idiots. Growing use of soy products has global consequences. I hope that one's true. Fucking soy. Anyways.
I'm safe.
Yeah. Soy. So I like to know what I like to know how gay hookup app Grindr perpetuates bedside racism. We're gonna get Chris Cox on the line and racism. It sounds a lot more like a gender problem. I've met a few people on Grindr. I like a kid named Robert Kelly out of Massachusetts. Very funny guy. Oh God, let's go to Dale on line 6.
Nick, how you doing?
Welcome to the show, Dale.
Nick, congratulations on the show. I had to tell you, I saw you at Bananas at Hasbrook Heights, me and my friends.
Yeah, thanks for spreading that. I appreciate it.
That's exactly what you said when you were there. And it was perfect timing because it was the Saturday after Trump got inaugurated, and I was talking to all my friends. My favorite comedian's playing at Bananas. And I was thinking, which one of my friends' wives or girlfriends are not going to be offended? And I found like 3 of them. And the other 3 would have walked out the Hillary jokes. But you said the funniest joke I had probably ever heard in my life. You said Michelle Obama.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I don't know what you're going to say. Dale?
Say jokes you said at clubs or shouldn't say it on serious?
I don't know. What the fuck? You going to get me canned on night number 2, for Christ's sake? Was it a football reference?
It was a football reference.
Oh, good. Then go ahead. What did I say?
You said Michelle Obama looks like Ray Lewis after he let up a touchdown.
Yeah, there was a picture of her being pissed. It looked like she got burned deep on a...
And I was just like, what? And then my 2 boys were like, they couldn't stop laughing. But it was probably the funniest joke I ever heard. But it's great because I got you on the podcast. But the last thing I want to say to you, Nick, is like you and your, I don't know if I could say his name on Sirius, your buddy from Long Island, who's Italian.
Yes.
The left, because I'm a Trump, I voted for Trump.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're the only 2 guys who are pro-Trump. And everyone's like, they're so right. I'm like, these guys are so in the middle. So it's like people in the middle now, we're like, I see your point, because I would say socially, you like, do what the hell you want.
Yeah.
But fiscally, hey, it's got to be conservative. And everyone's like, oh, he's a right-wing nut. I'm like, nah, he's sarcastic, but listen to him. He's in the middle, so enjoy him.
I appreciate that, Dale.
So, but congratulations on the show and seeing you live for the first time. In my top 4, I would say live comedians, it's you, Attell, Burr, and Norton. Beautiful.
Good company. I'm flattered. Thank you.
No problem, bud.
All right. You never know. When I say some shit on stage that...
He really delivered that like it was the mafia. Yeah, your friend on Long Island. I can't say his name.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Did the thing with the guy.
You know, Tony the Neck, he opened for you and... Hasbrook Heights. Said a lot of shit. You know, when you're playing Bananas and, you know, but it's your 11th time in the last 2 years, I tend to stop off at the liquor store before I head to the Holiday Inn. And I tweeted out, they have one of those stair lifts. You know those commercials you see old people going up the stairs?
Yeah.
They have one of those at the Holiday Inn Express. And I tweeted a picture of me on that with my shirt unbuttoned like I was fucked up. I think Joe, the kid with the cerebral palsy, would have appreciated it. Me going up the stairs and, well, yeah, no, Michelle Obama, you know, I just, it's after what they're saying about Trump now, all bets are off. Fucking, okay? She doesn't look like a linebacker. She's more of a strong safety. I'm just saying. But I'm going to, I think I'm going to change up. Oh, my podcast now is really this show boiled down to an hour. That's what we use as my Nick DiPaolo podcast. I was going to say I was going to go home and do my own sexual thing. You know what I mean? Just take me banging like a cantaloupe for like an hour.
Record it anyway.
Well, I'm shaving with electric shaver. Apparently there's a market for that shit. Let's go to Michael in New York City on line 5. Mike, what's going on, pal?
Nick, man, I am so sorry that you were on here.
Thank you.
You brought the funny back to serious. The bottom line is,
thank you.
I saw you live too. I'm gonna throw out another one of your jokes. about you telling me about your wife wanted to bleach her asshole? She threw Clorox at you?
Yes.
Come on.
Somebody already brought that up.
I don't care, man. I just came in from work now, and I'm psyched. This is the second day.
What do you do for work, Mike?
What?
What?
I work down at Wall Street. I deal with all the assholes down at Wall Street. I'm not getting into that,
okay.
But I mean, come on, you know how it is. But the bottom line is, thank God that you're a solid guy. You're politically correct,
yes.
And you're going to rip into actually Michelle Obama to me looks like a head under a dress, but that's just me.
That's a good one.
Okay.
All right. Am I up to your standards there, Nick?
Absolutely, Michael.
I mean, I watch. I love you. I go to your shows, and I've seen you on Anthony's podcast too, as well, man.
Thank you.
All right. Take care of yourself, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. She looks like a head under a dress.
Headhunter.
Oh, headhunter.
Yeah.
Under it, but what was the last part?
Headhunter under a dress. You know, like the old the headhunter dolls. Like
No, I don't actually. I didn't play with dolls. Help me out, Andy.
What are you implying?
He's getting all defensive. God, friggin' help us. Why do I even bring the stories in? This is fucking, I spent 4 hours today pulling stories, making notes, and, the callers come in, I go off on a tangent. Is this the show? I don't care. I make 18.5 either way doing this. You know what I'm saying? We got all kinds of shit to get to, but, look, the phones are lighting up. What do you think? We take more? Should I talk?
Take a few more. We teased the Lane Kiffin story, too.
Yeah, is anybody on the screen? You want to talk about that?
Well, we didn't get to it yet.
I didn't mention Lane Kiffin at the top? Wow, I'm really... Yeah.
13-year-old kid.
Yeah, I got it right here. Thanks. Jesus Christ. T. Martin. If anybody's a college football fan, T. Martin was a great quarterback for Tennessee.
Yeah.
And his son's 13 years old, and Lane Kiffin offered him a scholarship at 13. Okay, it's not the first time he's done this. When he was with the USC in 2010, he offered a scholarship to a 13-year-old quarterback, David Sills, who actually served me at Starbucks a couple weeks ago. So he's got impeccable taste, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's now in charge of Florida Atlantic Owls. And... Kiffin offered a scholarship to Caden Martin, 13-year-old son of the USC offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach T. Martin. I remember him. Boys, he was something else, man. ESPN's Chris Lowe noted this is Martin's first scholarship offer, and he plays quarterback like his father did. Well, how do you know that? He's only 13, for Christ's sake. Before joining the Trojan staff, T started as a quarterback for Tennessee. According to Feldman, the younger Martin also has a burgeoning baseball career. He described Caden as a promising pitcher in baseball whose fastball has been clocked in the 80s. Okay, I can throw it 80. I've had 4 shoulder operations.
Damn, he's 13.
I know he's 13, but he's probably 6'3", 240. You know how that works. Targeting a 7th grader is a bold move for Kiffin, especially since there's a chance he won't be at FAU long enough to see Caden join the Owls. Kiffin's USC stint was the longest of his head coaching career. He didn't even last 4 full seasons there. That's the thing. He keeps going after these. Sure. Is this Kiffin or Sandusky?
Yeah.
He's got another 11-year-old he's got his eye on. He saw him on a swing set. Anyhow, let's go to, again, anybody want to talk about T. Martin? It's just a story. They asked Lane Kiffin about it. They said it's the second 13-year-old that you're trying to give a scholarship to, and he replied, he said, they're so cute at that age. Oh, that was the Colonel from Boogie Nights. I'm sorry. I quoted the wrong.
Oh, do you think so, Doctor?
That's great. What was that?
That's the Colonel.
Do you think so, Doctor? That's your choice as a comic?
OT'd on me this week.
That's the clip? 1/8 of a... What was that? That was totally irrelevant.
That was the only Colonel clip I had.
All right. Clam it up. Now you're becoming the co-host.
What?
Yeah, I'll give you the scary eyes when I want you to chime in. I can't see you with these glasses on. Filthy. Look at these glasses.
Yeah, what's going on?
They look like, if you guys saw Midnight, if you remember you saw Midnight Cowboy when this kid blew John Voight in a movie theater with thick, that's what I look like with these glasses on. Oh, God help us. Let's go to Tony on line 6 in Missouri says he lived down the road from Ferguson. Let me get your take. Like you need to hear from me about that.
Hey, how you doing?
What up, Tone?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. You black or white?
I'm white, but I sound black because I was raised down here. You know, it's either fit in or get beat up.
Really?
No, well, for the most part, it's not that serious. We got enough shit in the house to keep everybody out. But
I have a summer home in Ferguson. Was that a mistake?
What's that?
I bought a summer home in Ferguson. Was that a mistake?
Oh, yeah, there's no beaches down here, bud, except for Omaha.
No, okay.
But
go ahead.
No, first off, congratulations on your show. I love you as a comedian. I've seen you down. I think you were at Helium.
Yes.
They just opened up the Helium. Yeah, I've seen you there. I couldn't remember if it was the Funny Bone there, but yeah, what's going on about your white entitlement?
Yeah.
Just how it just aggravates me every day. They knock over certain people knock over our trash cans and all that stuff. My father's been a police officer for 40 years down here, so I got horror stories. He was a major case squad down here, and just it's so sickening. Literally, when I was on hold with you, my dad was leaving to go to work, and there was a couple people walking up the street saying, police, murder, and all this stuff. They're just screaming it, looking right at us, and it's so sickening.
Let me ask you a question. Were the people yelling that, were they white or black?
They were Hispanic, actually.
Seriously?
No, that's my joke. No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you a serious question because white liberals are worse than anybody.
Well, they're young. The younger they are down here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even to 10 years old, they're screaming at me. I'm like, I've done that. Just the other day, I helped a drunk lady get her kid home because she was carrying them down the street, falling all over, almost busted her head on the curb. And, I helped her walk down to this fucking Section 8 down the damn street where I'm obviously not welcome, and I handed it off to whoever. I have no idea who it was.
Wow.
But, it's just like we look like assholes when really we're trying to do the right fucking thing.
Right.
And people look at us like, sorry, I just got off work. I'm a little tipsy myself.
How old are you, Tony?
30.
And what do you do for work?
I work for an electronics company. I try to put it out there.
So you're carrying a young kid down the street into a neighborhood that really wouldn't welcome you, and they'll be crying, and they'll be crying. The Nancy Pelosi's of the world will be crying that you're entitled because you're white and you're male.
Well, no, just because I don't know, but she was literally dragging this kid up the street in footsie pajamas, screaming and crying about her baby daddy. And I walked out there, asked if they needed medical attention, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she's mad at me, and I see her walking down the street every day, and she hasn't said thank you or nothing. I tried to call the police. I was like, I'm going to leave the police out of this shit, which I probably shouldn't have, because obviously it was what I walked into was not a very safe environment. But
right.
I just get tired of it. I get angry, and
I hear you. Well,
I mean, I don't know.
All you can do is vote.
Which I have.
All right, Tom.
All right.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm babbling on. Hey, well, no, good luck.
Thanks for the call.
Love you.
I appreciate it, man. You were giving me the cut thing. Dude, I'll tell you when. That was an interesting story. It's not going to be old fucking Lane Kiffin jokes. You understand? This is what we're doing here. That was socially relevant. He's a white guy helping a person of color out and fucking, so why would you because it wasn't under a minute? This is a different show.
It was just, I know.
No, that's your generation, man. You smoke too much weed. You have an attention span of a gnat. That was very interesting. I like that.
It was interesting.
Well, then why you fucking give me the cut sign over here? I'll tell you when. For the love of Pete. Brendan just gave you the thing. No. I thought that was interesting.
It was interesting. It was just a little choppy.
A little choppy. What's he, a professional speaker?
These
are fucking fans. You know what I mean? I hear you. If he was talking about, sleep medications and shit, I would have given him the yank. But that was interesting. To me. But what do I know? My name's on the wall. Look, now don't get all silent on me. You and I, this is why I love you. You should be able to take this shit. I mean, you're a comedian. I've seen your act, and you get a ton of pussy. But you're giving me the fuck. I'm trying to listen, and you're telling me to hang up on the guy. The guy's like, I'm dragging a half-dead child through a black neighborhood. I'm white. I'm wearing a yellow turtleneck, and he's bored. And fucking Andy's bored with the story. Get to the thing about the dick jokes up. We'll get to that. We have time for all that shit. Mama son. We will get to Bill Cosby and that story because it's coming up, his trial. Boy, doesn't the legal system just move, huh? At a lightning pace. Some of these broads are dead that he touched, allegedly, of natural causes. The first one he touched, she died. She was 97 a couple weeks ago. True story, folks. 866-969-1969. Let's go to. I'm just grabbing one. Let's go to line 3, Scott, New Jersey.
Hey, Nick.
All right, Scotty boy, how are you?
I don't know if you remember this. Is a long time ago. I used to manage a comedy club in Morristown called Catch a Rising Star.
Yes, my hometown.
Do you remember that?
Not the one in Princeton.
No, it was the one in Morristown.
I'll tell you what it was. It was at the Callaloo Cafe.
I don't think I did it. Did I?
Yes. It used to be. No. It wasn't Callaloo Cafe. It was called. Before that, it was called Uptown Willie's.
Correct.
Okay, so what can I do for you?
I just think you're hysterical. You gave me a signed picture of yourself. It's still on my wall in my hallway, my wall of fame, not shame.
Wow.
And I just think you're hysterical, man. You know what? Good luck with the show.
Scott?
I mean, you are hysterical.
Did I ever play your club or no?
Yeah, you did. It was in Morristown. It was Catch a Rising Star.
I kind of remember it. It was there for a couple.
It was. They never put any money into any advertising or anything.
Yeah.
But you still brought it. You were there Tuesday through Saturday.
Oh, Jesus. Holy shit.
Could have come with my
I remember the Tuesday there were like 10 people there.
Hey, was
and
that?
I guess you.
Let me ask you, Scott, on the opening night, was I there the night it opened? You had a big, those big things you see in front of, those big floating guys that are filled with air in front of.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We had lights. We had those freaking lights that they do for like a nightclub when it opens.
Yeah. I think I remember. Here's why.
It was a long time ago. You're talking, 95 maybe?
Yeah. No, that sounds about right. I did a gig. Why I'm really curious because I did a gig in Jersey one night, but it was I thought it was the grand opening, and like I said, there was like 10 people there the first night. It was a brand new club, and I actually stepped it up that night. It was the first night that I said, I am not doing material. I'm just going to be funny up here. And it's the first time I really just took risks, for like.
I have somewhere. I don't know where it is, but they used to tape the acts that were on stage.
Yeah.
I would love to send that to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hysterical because I believe when you were there, I left my keys to open the cash boxes on the stage.
Yeah.
And you totally busted my balls.
I should have taken the cash.
No, I know that, but I couldn't give change for drinks or anything because the keys for the cash box are on the stage. I'm right by your chair where you were sitting.
That sounds kind of familiar. Hey, Scott, I appreciate you calling in, brother, and spread the word about the show, will you?
No, I will spread the word. And you know what, dude? Do your thing. I mean, you're funny.
Thank you, man.
Just keep doing your material, and you're good, man. You're good. You're good to go.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Scotty. That's the one you should have been.
You were doing it fine.
I do remember a night. I don't think that was it, though. I did a club, and it only lasted a year, maybe. The grand opening. They had the big floaty inflatable guy that you see in front of a car dealership. Yeah. I think I had a breakthrough that night. Seriously. I said, I can't do material. and didn't even attempt it. Just went up there, had a few drinks, and was just off the top of my head. And the guys, like the 10 people, they were at the bar. And they gave me like it was a semi-standing ovation. 4 of the people stood. But it really opened me up to, having fun on stage and fucking around, So, anyhow, when we get back, we'll talk, we're going to talk about Bill Cosby's trial and, KG, my girl Kimberly Guilfoyle, might become the next, Sean Spicer's role. All right. Staff, this press secretary. And we got a, first, chick, doing play-by-play for the NFL, so there's bad news. And we'll comment on that, and Caitlyn Jenner, all kinds of stuff. It's a Nick DiPaolo show, and we'll take more calls, too. We'll be back right after this. Sit tight, kids.
And now, back to the Nick DiPaolo show on Sirius XM Faction Talk 103.
Thank you, Judy Gold. All righty. Back for the second hour of the Nick DiPaolo show. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. And the guy had called in from Ferguson, and he brought up, we touched on white privilege, and there's one more call we'll take on that before we move on to white racism. What other kind is there, folks? Let's go to Bill on line 6, has some thoughts about white privilege. What's up?
Billy.
Mark. Oh, Bill's gone.
No, Mark, yeah.
Mark, are you there? No. Terrific. One guy I wanted to talk to.
Mark, DC?
Yeah, no, I'm here. Sorry about that. I got confused with Bill.
That's all right. Sorry.
Hey,
my fault.
I'm black, and
are you really?
I am.
What?
Do I not sound black enough?
No, go ahead. No, you're cutting out. Did you do that, Andy?
No, it's his phone.
Go ahead.
You guys can't deny that there is some version of white privilege. I mean, there are stereotypes that people follow.
What do you mean? Give me an example. What do you mean a stereotype? Give me an example.
Well, when you see a black guy crossing the street and you look at him, people get fucking suspicious. Shit like that.
Well, okay, but that's different than white privilege. We're talking about white privilege.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying it's the stereotypes that play into white privilege.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, when you see a black guy,
okay,
you're gonna get hired for a job. People hire black people out of fucking sympathy instead of that fucking bullshit of who's qualified and who's not.
And you're black?
Yep.
Well, it's a different take. He's seeing it like a white guy. And he sounds like a white guy.
But black.
I know. I'm just saying. But, okay, hold on. But hold on. Here's why white people don't like it. You sound like you're agreeing with me, by the way. But I'm just saying, white people don't like it. It's just like black people. You wouldn't like to hear it if you get a job, because of affirmative action. And people go, oh, you just got that job because of affirmative action. So it's just the answer to that. Black people go, white privilege. We know, we benefit because of slavery. You're always, so they can hold that over your head forever. But I know plenty of white people who are way worse off than some black people I know. So it's not true 100% of the time. There might be some privilege in there, but fucking if you put on TV, that's all you hear.
Well, yeah, that's all you hear, but that's because of the media. But yes. It doesn't still change the sentiment of fucking people.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. No matter where you go, whether it's latent or overt, people fucking think this shit.
Well, I'm not sure what you're saying. People think what? Racist stuff? Like crossing the street when you see black guys? I'm getting mixed signals here.
No. I'm just thinking, if somebody hires, when you say white privilege,
yeah,
you think of people that are like, all right, this guy, you can trust this person because he's white.
So we'll
hire
him.
Watch this black guy over here. Yeah, better watch out.
Yeah, well,
watch the supply closet. The black guy's working late tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, that's more about racism than white privilege. That's prejudging. But yeah, it all ties in. I see what you're saying. Thank you for the call, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
You got it. Andy, he sounded whiter than you.
I mean, come on.
No, you can't tell. But, you know,
I know a lot of black marks.
Huh? A black... But I think he was kind of conflating the two things. That's more about prejudging people and stereotypes and whatever, as opposed to white privilege, which is just another fucking way of hating whitey. And yes, you know, you have some benefits and stuff, but let's not. We never acknowledge the progress that's been made. That's the problem. The far left talks like it's 1955 still. That's what bugs. Speaking of black / white. Bill Cosby, the big trial's coming up, and I guess he gave a rare interview to Michael Smerconish, who's right on this, right? He's got his own show. Yeah. And saying racism, Bill Cosby said racism and nefarious motivations could be behind the allegations against him. Let me translate that for you. It's Whitey's fault. Cosby and two of his daughters are stepping up in his defense in what appears to be a media campaign timed right before his June 5th trial and jury selection next week. In an interview on Monday, Cosby spoke with Smerconish, and I guess that aired today, right?
Yeah.
Yes, on the SiriusXM POTUS channel. And I guess Smerconish brought up the word nefarious, and Bill said, nefarious is a great word, and I just truly believe that some of it may very well be that. And for the cry, I mean, really? Well, let me just play one of his bits years ago as a stand-up comedian, and I'm trying to be objective here, Bill, but I'm sorry, in my opinion, guilty! From the prosecutor, exhibit A.
Take the bag off.
No, I'm not.
Then aren't you?
Hey! You're raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is rape. Okay.
Relax your arms.
That's America's Dad. Give me a break. We have, so his daughter, I guess, talked to Smerconish too, right? What are you getting? Is somebody texting you about what I just did?
No.
This is me being paranoid.
Not at all.
People like guys upstairs in suits. So I guess the daughter, she chimed in too and just made me fucking furious. And anybody who just, what's the daughter's name? Erin?
Erin Cosby.
Erin
yes.
is, and was she on with Smerconish when she said this?
I think this is a clip from another interview. But they were playing it while he talked to Bill.
Okay, this is Bill Cosby's daughter, and this is what she has to say about the upcoming trial.
What my father and family had to endure these last few years makes me ashamed of our country today. I cannot understand how our society has permitted my father to be condemned so unjustly and cruelly in the court of public opinion without evidence or proof and with no verdict or judgment. Like the cruel history of our people, the legal system and the protections of the law do not seem to exist for him today.
You have to be shitting me. What other country would rather you have your dad be on trial in? What other country? Got to be shitting me. Kentucky liberal over there smirking. Really? It's this country. There's no evidence and shit. Only 50 broads with the same story. I mean, give me a fucking break. He hasn't had a fair trial. That's coming. If we can find the jury now is somebody, can actually be objective, and it's not all about skin color, that's harder. That's what's wrong with the judicial system right now. And, but give me a fucking break. Oh, what did she say about this country? She's taking her, cue from Michelle Obama. I'm finally proud of my country. Now my husband's president. Before that, it was a real shithole. What did she say again?
Want to hear it again?
Yeah.
What my father and family had to endure these last few years makes me ashamed of our country today.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
I cannot understand how our society has...
All right. The same country that made him a billionaire with his average sense of humor, his fucking dentist jokes, and... I had some bits on Cosby, actually. I do this as girls like... There's a girl not heckling me, like a cute girl yelling shit out at Levity Live or somewhere, and I came back with this.
Actually, they have drinks named after celebrities. Right? Get her a Bill Cosby.
I get more to that.
He is a creepy fuck. I met him about 10 years ago in Atlantic City. This is how I know he's a rapist. I meet the guy. I wake up an hour later. I'm wearing nothing but a Temple t-shirt. And some pudding puff wrappers with blood and shit on them. No, I can't do Cosby, thank Christ.
I talk about in this part, I talk about how I can't do a good Cosby impression, but a lot of my black comic friends have him raping everybody. They get like a new half. By the way, he's allegedly. I don't, in the bit I said, but it's alleged. It's my opinion. It's not, of course not fact. But, here, I say I can't do a good Bill Cosby, but a lot of black comics have him raping everybody in their act. They have like a new half hour. I say I do a good Popeye though.
Everybody's doing that now. Every black comic goes into 20 minutes. You put the pussy in the can't wait till Popeye rapes somebody. That's just the voice I can do. Oh, somebody better. Oh, it's not rape. Quit blowing your whistle.
Quit blowing your whistle. What was the sign?
You went over 2 there.
What went over 2?
You, in the garbage can.
Oh, I know. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Thanks for distracting me to point that out. Jesus Christ. This is hilarious. But this whole shit, it's our country and it's our society. You know, it's not like this. We don't have a ton of circumstantial evidence at this point. I mean, that's just so insulting. And then his wife standing next to him. He didn't do anything wrong in front of the $50 million house he bought her 30 years ago. Bill's next to her. He's got pubes in his teeth. And, he didn't do anything wrong. That's just my take. Hey, he could be totally innocent. Wish you could see my face right now. I just strained muscles. My tongue was so far on my cheek, it looked like I was blowing an elephant when I said that. Oh, for the love of Pete. Let's go to Danny in Detroit on line 3. Danny, what's going on?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Okay, so you're talking about that thing, and Cosby's kind of been known as a piece of garbage, I guess, basically, getting people in trouble for a while now. I don't know if you've ever heard this, the story about, remember when Tyson allegedly raped Desiree Washington?
Yes.
And,
yes.
Okay, so I had heard a story prior to that Cosby's daughter dated Tyson, and then he got a little handsy with her. He pushed her around a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically, they're saying that's Cosby's the one that had him framed and said he raped that girl. So I don't know about your thoughts on that, but I'd heard that.
Okay, Danny. Can I ask you where you heard that? The Tonight Show?
I truly believe it was on Opie and Jimmy or Stern one time. I really believe that.
Oh, then it's definitely true. You heard it from us radio guys. All right. Thanks, Danny. I'd never heard such a thing.
I never heard that.
I never heard that either. Not to say it's not, but I had heard a lot of stuff about way. I remember arguing in the green room at Caroline's back in the late 90s with somebody about, it was a couple white women complaining, and I forget who I was arguing with, and, but yeah, those stories go on forever. And that's why we have our court system here, and all the evidence will come forward. And it'll just take a couple people of certain persuasion to, fuck up the jury. That's how it works. But let's go to line 6. Zach from Pittsburgh.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What up, Zach?
Hey, buddy.
How do you feel about this Cosby thing?
Well, you said what other country would Bill Cosby rather be tried in?
Yeah.
I could come up with a couple.
All
maybe
right.
Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Iran. We need like 34 witnesses to actually be a rapist.
Yeah, that's actually true. You can't do much wrong as a guy when it comes to rape in Yemen.
And I'll let you guys go there, but a real quick thing. I don't think Kimberly Guilfoyle being the press secretary is such a milestone. Is she really going to be the first Puerto Rican to live off the public dole? So.
Oh, my goodness gracious, Zach. What kind of horseshit is that?
I just voted Republican in my primary, so I guess.
All right, thank you.
I got to get out of here.
Thanks,
Love you guys.
Thanks, Zach. No, but as far as Kimberly Guilfoyle doing that, being the press secretary, she'd actually take a pay cut from what she's making on the 5 and all those other shows because it doesn't pay as well as what Fox News Channel will be paying. I read that. We'll get to her in a few minutes. She's Irish and Puerto Rican. Love her. I've met her a few times. Met her in it was called the Strategy Room. I think we brought it up last night. The streaming show that Fox had going. And a lot of time, Megyn Kelly sat in one time, and I was attacked by Shepard Smith and Judge Napolitano one night. Seriously, the night I met him. They asked me why Obama won the election. I said the media was in the fucking tank for him, and Shepard Smith went wild. And at that point, nobody knew he was out of the closet, but he hit me twice with his purse and once with his bumps. And he got fucking... And Judge Napolitano wouldn't have me on the panel for the rest of the week. If he was hosting, he wouldn't have me. I don't know why he had a beef with me, too. I think they knew me from Tough Crowd and didn't like, didn't like me being so honest. But that's... The whole thing about the Cubs thing makes me sick with the daughter saying that type of shit, I strongly believe my father is innocent of the crimes alleged against him. Really? What are you basing that on other than your love and loyalty? And I believe that racism has played a big role in all aspects of of course you do. Of course you do. Anyhow, but Smirkanish made a good point. A lot of the accusers are black and white, And then Cosby said, motivated by different factors. See, it sounds like a white woman having a stroke. I can't do a good Cosby. Anyhow, enough of that. I'm just saying, when I hear that, that's his daughter speaking, who grew up, probably in a $1 zillion house, had more benefits because of this country. But, just blame Whitey, blame the establishment. Makes me sick. Let's go to Ross in California, line 1. Ross, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Nick?
I'm hanging in here. The temperature's about 11 degrees Fahrenheit all of a sudden.
I'm good.
I know you're good. You're fucking 140 pounds overweight. Go ahead, Ross.
So what I'm saying is that Bill Cosby is going to O.J. Simpson his new trial. He's going to get the dream team.
I know.
He's going to get all the fucking most expensive motherfuckers he can get, Johnny Cochran and all those fucks.
Yeah.
And he's going to make a 4-year trial on this bullshit when he raped 70 people.
Well, again, allegedly, but yeah, I hear you. But you can't argue that race won't play a role, and I'm just sorry, folks. That's the country we live in, and I sort of agree with what you're saying. I wouldn't put it that way, and I think Cochran's dead. And but I hear what you're saying. Race plays a big role in it, and I don't think that's really what you said is that outrageous. Actually, thank you, Ross, for the call. I appreciate it. Alrighty.
Glove is a fist, check a condom.
I don't know. When I say dump 'em.
Bye-bye, dickhead.
See you in Attica. Let's go to Tim in New Orleans in line 2. Timmy boy.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I just want to say, man, I think your Bill Cosby impression is hilarious. I caught you at Harris Casino a couple of weeks ago, man. I was in the third row. I had a big beard.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, man. And you're Robert De Niro from Cape Fear, man. Forget about it. It's freaking hilarious.
Hey, thank you for coming out to that show, man. Me and Robert Kelly had a great time. And I love your city. I love your city, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
They just they about to take down the Beauregard monument. I don't know if you heard an update on that, but I just wanted to give it to you.
Yeah.
I knew you was a little curious about it. I just want to say, man, the whole country's racist. Race plays a part in everything.
Yes.
Whoever's denying it is nothing but a liberal weenie.
There you go. Well, strong language here. Thank you, Timmy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, New Orleans was great. Great city. You can have you can have gumbo and be stabbed in the ass at the same time. It's a beautiful and girl. I actually enjoyed it actually, but yeah, he's right. I mean, Billy Burr asked me that. I remember we were having a conversation before Comics Come Home, and he said, "Do you think you're racist?" I go, "I don't think I'm racist." And he says, "I think we're all racist." Well, now you're getting to the scope of what the definition of racism is. It used to be narrow. Now, if you disagree with the black president, when Obama, you were racist. You know what I mean? It keeps widening. So, I don't know. I'm very confused. I just try to get along with everybody. You know what I'm saying, Andy?
That's it.
I just, speaking of that, I haven't talked to my friend Keith Robinson forever. He's a black comedian. He's very funny, a Philly guy. And, have you seen him, Andy?
He's doing well.
Is he?
Yeah, I don't know. People
I know he had a stroke about a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And it kind of pissed me off because I saw him after the stroke. He never looked better. Seriously, he was thin. He was in shape. Right. Is that what I got to do? Load up on pork? And, you know what I mean? Brendan, you've been awful quiet tonight. You can chime in.
Yeah,
can't be talking race with a guy with a Kentucky hat on. Has nothing to say. You think you're better than me? That was me doing Max Cady. Anyhow, you're not cold right now?
No, I feel great. I'm 6'4", 250. What do you? I mean,
are you that big?
Yeah.
All right, I better pipe down. I thought you were like 5'11", 217. 6'4", 250.
Maybe a little, but I'm good.
If I had your size, Jesus, I'd be breaking wedges for the Tennessee Titans. So, enough of the. Should take one more call about the Cosby thing?
Sure.
Help me out, will you? I can't read this one.
We got Jared in Texas.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Jared, you're on with Nick.
Jared, how are you?
Hi, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to comment, the whole white privilege thing. You know what's funny to me is it's really not so much the races, like blacks or Hispanics, minorities complaining about white privilege.
No, it's white people.
It's your own kind.
Yes.
White people complaining about their own white privilege as like some sort of masochistic way of appealing to the masses.
Yes.
Or it's what you would call virtue signaling, as they call it on Twitter.
What signaling?
You never heard of it? It's called virtue signaling.
Oh, virtue signaling, yeah.
Yeah, are you familiar with that?
I've heard the phrase, but don't know exactly what they're implying.
Okay, basically, let's say this. Okay, let me get an example. Basically, you condemn someone on social media, on Twitter, for doing something bad, like, let's just say, I don't know, robbery, something simple like that. It's like, I would never stoop so low, so down to rob someone, that someone has money or something. It's showing to other people how good of a person you are while putting someone else down.
Right.
And that's what a lot of white liberals are doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And even comedians, even your own kind, Nick, which must be depressing for you.
Well, those it's like the generation after me that have bought into that shit. And
because
the younger comics.
I was listening to Raw Dog the other. I remember this. I don't know who the comedian is, but it actually disgusted me. I'm Hispanic, but I was listening to him saying, "Oh, ooh, yay! Look at all the white people in the crowd! Yay, white people!" It's like, how can you hate yourself so much that you?
Right.
And he's famous. I wish I knew the fucker's name, but
yeah. No, I hear you. No, I agree 100%. It's self-hating white people, and that. Thanks for the call, by the way. And that's appreciated. That's who's and they're being taught by self-hating white people, the professors, who are just they just have a hate on for this country, everything it stands for, and unfortunately these kids, when they go to college, their brain is just mush. They're very impressionable. They swallow this shit whole, but they'll learn when they get out in the real world. They'll get smacked around or whatever. But that's absolutely true. Joe List I remember Joe List telling me like a year ago, some young comic he was hanging out with something. He goes, talking to some city, he goes, I'd never move to like Seattle. There's not even any black people there. It was a white comic saying that. That's just like over the top PC.
Right. Oh,
you know what I mean? And a good example of that too is the Adam Jones thing at Fenway Park that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I want to get into that. Maybe not tonight, but it was just there was some drunk people in the stands and they used the N-word or whatever, and obviously, whatever. You don't want that and shit like it. But then the Red Sox organization before the game, even Adam Jones said, we know Adam Jones didn't think that the Red Sox organization stands for racism. And it just it became a national story. But, because some drunk idiots, it's a little too over the top is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Nick DiPaolo Show, 866-969-1969. We got to, what was that?
That was a 20.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic.
He's flashing me like he's a fucking crypt over there with these. We'll be back right after this with more shows. Sit tight, kids. Yeah, well, welcome back. The final segment of the Nick DiPaolo. Yeah, it's like fucking 11 degrees where I'm sitting right now. I can see my breath. I know you have to keep the equipment cold and shit, but it's equipment. It's not a fucking fudgicle. Hello, folks. Before we get off the subject, let's go to John in Maryland. He's got an opinion on the mainstream media, or my opinion, an opinion about my opinion on the opinion. John, how are you?
Doing great. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm making a living.
You're freezing to death, I hear. But, the mainstream media, it's terrible. Whether it's Keith Olbermann, whether it's Rachel Maddow, whether it's Lawrence O'Donnell, that guy hasn't been right about anything in so long. It's terrible.
I was wrong about you, John. I told my producer, Andy, I go, this guy's from Maryland, so I'm guessing he's probably a Democrat, probably hates my opinion of the mainstream media being so far left. But even they don't deny it anymore. You're exactly right. It's hilarious. It really is, just to flip through and it's not just the news. When I talk about, liberal, the media being, it's not just the news programs, the commercials where the, white guys emasculated, all that shit. Movies where I gotta watch a woman kick the shit out of 7 guys.
Absolutely.
The pop culture is where they do their most damage. They don't even argue with it anymore. You can't argue with it. Every bad guy's got like a, European accent and what
financial interests are behind this too? When you look at the media empires and how it's not just MSNBC, it's CNN, it's all of them with the same messaging, whether it's the broadcast networks or what, and just what do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I know. That's always the question I asked, because my liberal friends would go, what are you talking to be liberal? Those are giant corporations that run the media. But I'm like, yeah, but the message is liberal. And if that's what's making the money, that's what's making the money. I don't know if it's a one world view. You know what I mean? I remember saying that to Louis at the Comedy Cellar. I was arguing because I saw some commercial and they had to have, there was a different race represented. And he goes, that's it. They're just drawing the most amount of eyes they can to that product. No, if that was the case, all the commercials would be white. The country's 68% white. That's the biggest. You know what I mean? So it's a good question. What's the motivation behind it? One world government. That's all the shit. I read the book called The Truth About the Bilderberg Group. I'm never going to vote again. You might want to. Thanks for the call, John. I appreciate it. That's actually a great question, Anyhow, yeah, Kimberly Guilfoyle, I think would be great as she's like a spicy, saucy Puerto Rican / Irish chick. She's very smart. She was a prosecutor. I think she was a federal prosecutor at one time in San Francisco. And Gavin Newsom, who was the mayor at one time, she was married. She's really bright and good looking and doesn't take any shit. You know what I mean? So I think she'd be a pretty good choice, actually. She says, she was quoted as saying, if you want to be successful and do communications with President Trump, you have to be someone who he actually wants to spend a little bit of time with. And, Trump would love to spend a little bit of time with Kimberly Guilfoyle. What? Is that her?
That's her. Victoria's Secret model.
No.
Uh-huh.
No. Seriously? Some of those are, I know the real ones. That's not her. See, this is a bunch of Guilfoyles who pull. I know what anyhow. She says you've got to insist on getting in front of the POTUS, talk to him, and have like 5 or 6 minutes with him before you go out there and take the podium. Otherwise, you're driving blind. And I don't think that's what I don't think Sean Spicer was driving blind out there. Yeah, that's
she's
hot.
Real.
No, she's stunning. And she's, but she's real, like I said, she's argumentative. She will not back down to anybody.
Jesus, no wonder Ailes got in trouble.
You don't watch Fox News? It's like soft porn over there. I can't blame O'Reilly. He was probably walking around every time I say something like Brendan cringes. I want to know your politics after the show. I really do. I think he hates everything I'm saying, which is good, by the way, Brendan. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but yeah, I would like to. She knows Trump. She's known him for years, from being in New York. She says she knows Trump's family more than a decade. They first met at a charity event when she moved to New York around 2000, and they were talking about her as being the press secretary when he first took over. So Trump's a fan, but Fox News, I would have been like O'Reilly. I would have been like Hugh Hefner. I would have had my robe on, walk around with a pipe. Hey! And I think in the long run, they're going to get hurt with the ratings with him gone, regardless of what you think of him. But you know what? I kind of enjoy I don't want a new press secretary because I enjoy Melissa McCarthy doing the Sean Spicer. First of all, Melissa McCarthy, to me, she's the female Chris Farley. She is that goddamn funny.
Yeah.
I want to meet this woman. I mean, she's brilliant. And I wish she was on the show all the time. But here's her as Sean Spicer.
Today, when he entered the room, the crowd greeted him with a standing ovation, which lasted a full 15 minutes. And you can check the tape on that. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy. The men all had erections. And every single one of the women was ovulating left and right.
How funny is she? Oh, man. Anyways, Guilfoyle's son, Ronan, also went to school with Trump's granddaughter, Kai, the daughter of Donald Trump Jr. and his wife, Vanessa. So she's got a little N there. And after the news about the possibility of her joining the White House came out, Newsom, that's her ex, San Francisco guy, liberal guy, real handsome guy. He's a vocal opponent of Trump, messaged Guilfoyle about the possibility of her becoming press secretary. She said he was cracking up. He's like, oh, my goodness, you're a rock star. You'd be fantastic. But, oh, man, he was teasing her. She said if she was offered and took the job, Guilfoyle could expect a huge pay cut and she'd have to uproot her life from New York to Washington. But she said that wouldn't be a problem. She's like a real patriot. I mean, she's a real, and you'd rather look at her than Sean Spicer, wouldn't you?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Mink. What did you say, Andy, about your dad's 93?
Yeah.
And what
Joe.
does he say about the Fox?
Yeah, he calls them his girlfriends.
His girl. That's what he calls his girl.
It's Fox News on all day. You see my girlfriend, Megyn Kelly, over there the other day?
My old man loved Megyn Kelly, too. And
I love Megyn Kelly.
I got a headshot. She gave my dad a headshot and signed it.
That's great.
Isn't that unbelievable? And I never gave it to my dad. I put it over my bed. Like I'm doing facials on radio. You can see me right now.
It worked in the room.
It worked in the room. Hey, that's radio talk for you. This one caught my eye because I've mentioned it and you've heard me talk about it many times if you're fans of my comedy, and I've been doing this since the early 60s. By the way, the number is 866-969-1969. There's a longtime play-by-play commentator, Beth Mowins, will be the first woman to call a nationally televised NFL game when she announces the second game of ESPN's Monday Night Football Week 1 doubleheader. That was announced today. Mowins will be joined by former coach Rex Ryan in the booth. So we got a chick and a loser. Oh. All righty. For the Los Angeles Chargers Denver Broncos contest that follows, whatever. Too much information, ESPN. Just get to the fucking point. Will you please? So I guess Disney hasn't learned their lessons yet. They're still, You stepping on that fucking lib pedal, huh? And I've heard this woman, and I'm not saying she's bad, but that's not my point, okay? Here's my point, Brendan. Listen, you can tell your dumb friends who've bought into this shit.
How many women here think guys should decide the abortion issue? None, right? And you always say, because you're not qualified. You've never carried a baby. Yeah, you've never carried a football. Get the fuck off SportsCenter. Case closed.
But, my point, he's cringing at everything. You can tell he's been pussified. He's had his balls cut off. No? You're probably with me. From Kentucky. I'm probably wrong about that, actually. My point being, though, okay, and it's not being anti-women, not hating women, blah, blah, blah. There's a guy out there who played the game, who's more qualified.
Right.
Do you get it? That's all. That's the end of the argument. There's a guy who could use that job who's actually played the game. And people go, well, you don't have to, I mean, you can study and still be a great announcer. So by that mentality, I've had this argument with people. If you're going to have an open heart operation, would you want the guy who's performed 1,000 of them or somebody who's watched 1,000 of them? That's kind of airtight logic. I hate to hit you with that. You women with your mustaches. It's but listen, and let me say this to be fair to Beth Mowens. I've heard her do games, like college games, and she knows her stuff. There's no doubt. I'm just saying. It's more credible if a guy. Do you see anybody? Are you also brainwashed that you're buying into this poo-poo? But yeah, she's done a game before, by the way. She has experience in NFL broadcasting. She did a Raiders preseason game in 2015. I remember that. I kicked my TV in with my work boots.
And Ryan too.
Yeah, you can listen to Rex Ryan. You got a loser and a chick.
He's gonna be looking at her feet the whole time.
Oh, God. Her feet probably look like mine. Runaway slave feet. That's what I call my feet. I have narrow, tan feet. That's how I describe. My wife thinks that's so funny. Right now, my thighs are 10 degrees.
Oh, come
There's
on.
There's a goddamn wind blowing over here. It's like I'm doing
a vent. I don't know. I'm cool customer right over here.
I know. You're 6'4", 250, 90% fat. No, I'm not kidding. You look in pretty good shape.
Yeah,
but
not wrong.
I know. But listen, who has the best take on female sportscaster? Oh. The late, great Andy Roney. I'm going to play a clip that I found of Andy. He was on the Imus show years ago. He said this. Listen to this.
It's sort of fun. So now, what did you say about female sideline football reporters?
I said that it was ridiculous to have these women down on the sideline doing football reports, and I doubt if I should have said it, but some of them are quite good. I mean, some of them are good, but they're chosen more for their appearance and their knowledge of the game, and I have never heard anyone who adds anything to the game. I mean, it's hard to defend my opposition to it, and but I just, it's like, I was trying to think of something like hair and butter. I like, a woman's hair can be a very attractive feature, part of her, what she looks like. And I love butter as a cooking element. I use a lot of butter. And I like both hair and butter. But you get a little hair on the butter and it ruins both of them. I feel that way about women in football.
Well, I mean,
are there any other questions?
You don't think that...
Spot on.
Sorry, it's not being sexist. We made 3 good points. My abortion bit, Andy Roney, and there's just, enough. And can I be fair? I've never, there's no reason to have a sideline reporter regardless of gender.
Right.
It's a gimmick by the network. That's all it is. It's a gimmicky thing. Ooh, look what we're doing. They do it in the NHL now. They got a guy, interviewing the coach in the middle of the game. Is there anything more angst-ridden than, let's say it's a national football, Alabama playing Florida for the national championship. At halftime, the team's down, one of the teams down by a couple touchdowns. You really think that coach wants to be interviewed right there? Who the fuck? I love, what's his name? Who's Saban? You can see he hate in his eyes. Well, what are you going to do better? Yeah. They seem to be running the ball on you. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll try to draft somebody at halftime. What do you think, you big dink? Make me a sandwich. He doesn't go that far. But Brendan's head just
that one
went
finally
back.
got Brendan.
He's actually, I fucking love this kid. Because like a white liberal kid from his age from Kentucky, he's probably more conservative than most up here, Let's go on line 3 to Brendan. And speaking of Brendan, Long Island. Brendan, what's going on?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
Big fan. I just want to congratulate you on the show, and we'll see how long you can stay on for.
What does that mean, man?
I don't know. Series is always going through changes. So, I hope they keep you. Finally, something good in the afternoon to listen to on the way home from work.
Oh.
So,
what do you do for work, Brendan?
I work for the city.
You work for the city?
Yes, I'm an inspector for the city.
I'm a union representative.
So, you're an inspector. Well, let me tell you, the city's falling apart at the seams. And
Oh, it is. Trust me, I see it every day. I inspect elevators. They're scary, man.
yeah, you inspect elevators. A lot of people go to step on those and they're not there and they fall 60 stories. Boy, does that make me laugh.
I do chuckle, but I know I shouldn't.
That's why I love my fans. Brendan finds that funny, too.
But, yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Long Island been very good to me. Thanks for the call. I got to be honest. One of my favorite things about my career is coming down here. I'd only been doing comedy like 2 years in Boston. Me and Louie, let's make the jump after 2 years of open mics, one-nighters. And New York, and, they've been New York, New Jersey, Long Island, a lot of people think like I do and enjoy the caustic. I mean, you don't get much more caustic, so it's, especially Jersey, man. When I put out an album or a special, by the way, let me plug my own show, which I never do. I have a special on CISO.com called Inflammatory. The album is on iTunes right now. And get it because it's really funny. I did it in October. Did it in Long Island, matter of fact, Riverhead, at the Suffolk Theater. And, it's on iTunes and a bunch of other places that I can't remember. And go to nickdip.com, my website, for my tour dates. And I'm not like Norton. I won't be in Norway. I'll be in Point Pleasant. But same crowd, I'm sure. Honest to God, if you feel the back of my neck right now, you'd think I was dead. He's getting mad. I'm like his fucking girlfriend in bed. Right? It's cold in here. I can't help it. I can see my breath over here. I'm not making this shit up. But I've said this at every, my wife's always complaining, It's very cold in here, and I'm like this.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
That is, okay, Andy.
Yes.
That is loud to the fourth power in my ears.
Really?
We have to fix this.
All right, we will. I mean, it sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to go deaf.
What to believe out of you.
I'm not going to go fucking deaf. You want to come over here? I'll do it. Here, come put these on.
All right.
I'm going to play that again. That's that's kind of a loud one. But,
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
Even when I turn it down. Excuse the language on that. We were just testing,
That's, your cans.
Huh?
It's your headphones.
It's my cans?
Yeah, it's your headphones.
It says Radio Shack on them. They must be good.
No, your feed for some reason is crazy loud. Out of mine, it's perfect. So
even the callers are distorted. Not with yours, though?
No, everything's perfect coming over here.
So why can't I pick one of these other 19 holes on the desk to you?
Yeah, we can. We just had you set up.
Brendan's laughing at my terms, my radiology. Anyhow. Yeah, so I don't mean to be sexist about the women report. Michelle Tafoya. I called into the Tom Bernard radio show, Minneapolis, and she was on with Tom. And she couldn't have been nicer. And, I just assume anybody that works at Disney and a chick or whatever is kind of left of center. And she was hinting and Tom was saying, no, she's like worse than me as far as my quality. And she was very nice and I was making her laugh. But I got to be honest, I used to pick on her all the time. I have a cutoff. Linda Cohen for ESPN Sports Center? She's the one who never bothered me for some reason. Seems like she enjoys sports or whatever. And, we'll switch headphones, not midstream, Andy. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm going to try these headphones. No, we can't do it now. We'll do it next show. Yeah? You want me to try these?
Well, I was trying to do it seamlessly.
Hello? Yeah, great. Get the thing done.
Now try.
There we go. That's not bad. Let me play
one more time.
Let me play a theme of a rapist.
Take the bag off. No, I'm not. Hey! You're raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is
rape. Alleged. Hey, this is much better.
All right. Problem solved.
Huh? Okay, but it's not the headphones. It's, I'm guessing, the thing you plug the headphones into. No? What do I know? I used to date Casey Kasem. I should know everything about radio. Next up, the guy who blew me for a fillet of fish. You think it's going by fast. I feel like I've done 4 shows right now. I got to be honest. I'm having a good time. I'm just saying. Jesus H. I can see why every radio show has 11 sidekicks. Anyhow, let's take a phone call. It's been 6 minutes. Let's go to Tom in Tennessee. Tommy boy.
Mr. DiPaolo, how are you, sir?
Very good. How you doing?
Very well. I just want to tell you, you are a breath of fresh air on the Sirius XM wavelengths.
Thank you.
Touching people, and we love you, buddy. You speak the truth, and you got a good slot.
Thank you.
After an okay show, but you're great. We love you, and you're doing awesome, buddy. Even though it's the second show, you're doing great.
Thank you so much, Tommy. I appreciate it, man. And you can thank Jack Vaughn, by the way. When I say thank you, you can dump him. Jack Vaughn, here at Sirius, I think made the initial move to get me here and followed through with it. And again, I thanked Rob Sprance at Riotcast because I think the podcast kept my chops for a couple of years. And I love satellite radio. You can say pretty much anything, man. It's because I've done both terrestrial and and this is it actually is it's a lot of fun. Anyhow, let's go to line 4. We're gonna go to Mike in Massachusetts. Mike, what's going on, pal?
Nick, how you doing? I'm calling you from beautiful Bill Ricker, Massachusetts, buddy.
All right, Bill Ricker in the house.
Yeah, it's cross country, huh? Can't wait alone.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I was at the Dennis Leary Comics Come Home.
Yep.
Over there. That was the greatest performance I've ever seen from you. That was phenomenal. When you called that lady a Peabody Jew,
yeah,
I don't shit my pants. That was the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't say, but here's the thing. I didn't say, I said, just an angry Jew from Peabody. I didn't say a Peabody Jew. Peabody Jew is even more derogatory. And I gave this woman a scoop. A lady called the house. A bunch of papers called the house because I got in trouble for saying it. And this one woman who was from my hometown, I didn't know her, but she writes for one of the Boston papers. So I say, yeah, I said an angry Jew. I said the first thing came out of my head. But she puts it in the paper. Oh, by the way, he called her a Peabody Jew. This is the one lady who I thought was going to help me out in the situation. And, it's so funny. In New York, you say Jew, nobody blinks, because that's Jewish people say I'm a Jew. Nobody blinks. But up in Boston, bunch of, my hometown, which I love. But again, we talk about white liberals who hate themselves and hate, they went nuts on social media, making me out to be Hitler, because I referred to Bernie Sanders as an old Jew. Give me a break. Anyhow.
It's like, that's why, the political correct. I mean, you can't even go to Fenway Park anymore. You gotta turn your eye. I mean, it's ridiculous. Fenway Park has become so politically correct. I won't even go to a ball game. It sucks.
How does a park become politically correct? Like, give me an example.
Well, supposedly the Adam Jones thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Of course I did.
Yeah, that was a bunch of horse shit. I'll tell you right now.
You don't think? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think maybe something, they were talking, but I mean, come on, really.
I know.
And now it's like white, self-hating owners, we got to feel guilty because we're white.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
The Redskins.
All right. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the call, buddy. What he was talking about was Comics Come Home. I went on after Wanda. We all heard about it. Not everybody, but Wanda, just went out there and shit on Trump. Didn't say anything funny, just railed on Trump, which he has every right to do. And I went up and right after her and defended. And was doing pretty well till I started shitting on Hillary. And then, the liberal pussies get their panties bent out of shape. And then people go on social media and distort everything. But as far as the Adam Jones thing, look, if there's somebody, a group of drunken and they yelling the N-word out and shit, they should be, booted. Because there's kids around and shit, and even if there weren't kids around, I mean, come on. But the point is, then the Red Sox came out the next night and apologized, and it became a national story. I just think we go a little nuts with that type of stuff, don't you? I can't wait till you shake my hand, Andy, after the show.
Yeah, me neither.
He's getting so annoying. What do we got, a minute?
We got a minute 15.
A minute and 15. Anyways, I got a bunch more stories. I'm going to save these for tomorrow. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Can I sandbag these?
Sandbag them.
By the way, you Democrats, I'm waiting for all this evidence on the Russian collusion, so give me a call at my house when you fucking... Oh, my God. Brendan, wait. Yeah, we'll get to Brendan on that, too. I don't know how he goes on that way. Go to nickdip.com. What else? Dates that you were going to put up, remember? Andy? There you go. June 9th, Cleveland, Ohio, Hilarities. Yonkers Hot Comedy Club, June 2nd. I'm in Hilarities, June 9, 10, and 9 and 10. September 16th, Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. It's all at nickdip.com. And having a great time here. What does that mean? 10 seconds? Thank all you callers. We'll see you kids tomorrow night. It'll be even more fun. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Nick DiPaolo Show.